And I just think it like really builds character, knowing that you can improve in things. And like even if you start out terrible at something, like you can improve yourself through like working hard.
Hi, I'm Nate, and this is Unger the Radar, where we reveal off-camera observations of authentic athletes. Today, we'll look at the story of Maddie Gullickson, an incoming senior at Wayzata High School. We'll dive into what drives her crazy finishing kicks and going for the state title or the 4x8 state record. We'll look into how she's been able to be such an incredible leader of a team who has won 3 state cross-country titles in a row from 2022 to 2024, whether she was running on it or not. And then we'll look at what it was like when she put on a pair of Nordic skis for the first time last year. Maddie was incredible to have on the pod, as you can just tell the passion she has about her sports and the love for her team shine through her voice. She was really open about the life lessons she's picked up from her time, and I was really inspired. So let's see what we can learn from the authentic, athletic life of Maddie Gullickson and what her life is truly like under the radar. Who inspired you to start, and how did they do that? How have you been able to cultivate meaningful relationships with your teammates outside of practice? How have you learned to separate your personal identity from your sport? What would you like to say to the people who look up to you?
If I had fun, the results would come with it.
Focus on yourself and focus on the process, because your process is your process.
Running is life. Life is not just running.
Everyone has their own struggles at the end of the day that you don't really know about.
It's much easier to tackle it together instead of just being alone.
I'd be in my fuzz with Grace, or I'd be in my pack with Grace and Aly.
Okay, I feel like a coach right now.
With the clipboard.
The clipboard. I feel like professional in my hoodie. Okay, so who inspired you to start running, and how did they do that?
Ooh, okay. This could kind of go 2 different routes. So I've always liked running. So like track, I've always kind of done since like 6th grade, or like in elementary school, I'd do like the elementary school track meets, stuff like that. But then when I was in 7th grade, my brother had Hallen, who was our old cross-country coach, as his teacher. And she was like, oh my gosh, you have a little sister who runs. And then she was like, you need to tell her to sign up for cross-country. So then Josh talked to my parents and said like, oh, she should join up for cross-country. And then I joined cross, and the rest is left is unwritten, I guess. Or the left unwritten. The rest is left.
What do they say? It's
what do
like,
they say? Yeah.
Why am I blanking? It's like the rest is history.
The rest is history.
That's what they say.
Yep.
The rest is unwritten.
Yeah.
Yeah. Natasha Bedingfield reference.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what year was that?
7th grade. Well, I joined it. I did summer cross country after 7th grade.
Yeah.
And then after the alumni meet, then I raced varsity 8th grade for the St. Olaf meet. And I think that would have been like 2021, 2022, somewhere around there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So what was it like growing up, like watching the greatness of Wayzata, even when you weren't on the team?
Yeah.
Like looking at the program and like from a distance?
Yeah. I'm gonna be completely honest. I had no idea that Wayzata cross country was like a really good sport. Like for me, it was all like Wayzata baseball, Wayzata basketball, because like both my brothers did those, so I'd go to all their stuff. And I knew about the girls basketball team and other girls sports, but I had no idea that Wayzata girls track and field was like dominant and cross country was dominant until I actually joined the team. And even then, like when I joined the team, it was kind of just the norm for me. Like Abby she was obviously a superstar in my eyes, but she wasn't like, oh my gosh, like top of the nation, like she's gonna go to Colorado Boulder. And like Tegan and Grace weren't like, they were just teammates to me, you know, because I didn't know anything different. And then when we made it to NXN, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is actually the real deal, you know, like they're actually a really good program. And now looking back at it, we are a really good program, and that's just something that I didn't even really know going into it. So
it didn't really set into you until the
end of the 8th grade season. Yeah.
Or when you were teammate to NXN.
Yeah.
But the year before they didn't make it. So knowing that, like, what was your kind of mentality going into NXR your freshman year?
My freshman year was when I was like, okay, this team's good. Like, I didn't even know that NXN was a thing my 8th grade year. I knew that we were going to Sioux Falls to race. I didn't even know that there was like a race after that. So then I go in freshman year knowing like, oh my gosh, like we have a trip to Oregon if we make this, like we can do it. So then I think that everybody had the mindset going in, like, we know we're a top-ranked team nationally. We know that we have the chance to do it. So we all kind of went into it with a quiet confidence, I guess, and Hallen also really wanted to do it. So we knew we'd been training hard, and we just went into it and did our thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll hear these names a lot more during the episode. We're going to revisit the names: Grace Mignon, Grace Weber, Nikki, Tegan Anderson. This may have been the second attempt at pronunciation, but that's okay. But what was it like being on the team with them your freshman year, and how did each of them lead you both individually as people and together as a cohesive group of seniors?
It was really awesome to have those girls to look up to, because especially my first 2 years, I would just go into the races and go into workouts and follow what they did, because I didn't really know what to do myself. And they had all been around the team. They knew what they were doing. So I'd go and they just lead by example, and they were amazing. Like, to have as race partners, just as teammates, they showed me that you need to have a balance between your outside life and cross country and really just having fun with the sport. So it was awesome having those 4 girls to look up to. And also Nora Mickelson, who wasn't always in the top 7. She was another really big piece of that puzzle too. Just we were all a cohesive group who all just loved running and to be with each other. So that was really awesome having them to look up to.
Cool. I want you to shout out a senior who wasn't the 5 that you mentioned that really impacted you your first year of running.
Ella Brofman was I don't really know where she was before I was on the team, but the year I was on the team, she was injured, and then when she came back, she wasn't ever really the same. So she was kind of the 9th, 10th position, I want to say. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure on that. But she was just a goofball in practice. She was awesome to be around, and especially me being in 8th grade, it was really helpful to have somebody who was just there, lighthearted, having fun. So I never got to know her super well on a personal level, just because there was a 5-year age difference.
Right, that's right.
But it was really fun having her on the team.
Cool. What was it like going to state your freshman year, and what was that experience like?
I'll start at 8th grade year. So 8th grade year, I same thing. I didn't really know what the team could do. We got 2nd place, and all of us were kind of frustrated with 2nd place. We were we know that we can do better than this. So also 8th grade year state, I was sick into NXR too. That's why I was sick my 8th grade year at NXR. So I didn't run well, and I was mad about that. And so freshman year going into state, especially with all the seniors last year, we were this is going to be our big year. We're going to win state, we're going to win NXR, we're going to go to NXN, and we're going to try to place as well as we can there. So we kind of all had the mentality going in. We knew we were the top seeded team. We knew that we were most likely going to win the meet, but we all just were let's go run our race. We don't have to do anything special. We all had our race plans. We all knew where we wanted to get out in the packs and stuff. And then we kind of just went and had fun with it, went and raced, and then afterwards we celebrated and got back working for NXR. So
cool.
Yeah.
So NXR that year, one thing that kind of stuck out to me when I was looking through results is you were pretty much pack running for the first 2 miles. So what was it kind of like running in a pack for the dub with the people that you'd look up to the whole season, both for 8th grade and freshman year?
That was amazing. So me, Grace Weber, Grace Mignon, and Aly Clayman all were in this big pack of 4 for the first 2 miles, like you said. And it was just awesome having that energy, because not only running with them, but then when your teammates would cheer on for you, they're cheering for all 4 of you. So it just brings quadruple the energy. And I think that really helped lead us to our success, because we all just had our teammates pulling each other. We knew that we had Tegan and Abby up front more, and that was just awesome to have that huge pack like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of do string out the last mile. But it's still pretty close.
Yeah.
So you all finished within 10, 15 seconds. So what was it like coming in the line and turning around and seeing the same group, knowing that 5 out of 7, they crossed the line way, way, way in the front in comparison? And what were you kind of feeling like?
Yeah. It's always amazing, because just watching my teammates cross the finish line, especially in that meet, because I knew that we had a place high, and we heard Coach Chris yelling you gotta catch these girls, or you need to get this next person or something. So it was awesome to come back and see them so close, because that's when I really knew the reality of okay, they're so close to us that we can really make it to NXN. So that was really fun.
What was the first thing that you said once you crossed the finish line to your teammates?
Good job? I don't remember. I have no idea. Probably something along the lines of, great job, you guys did amazing, I'm so proud of you. And then we were all like staring at the scoreboard waiting for the official results to come in that we won. And then that was awesome. That was just like surreal. Like it was all a blur. It was so fun.
And what was your reaction when you found out that Abby broke the course record?
It was just amazing. Like we knew that she had a good chance of doing it. It was amazing that she did it, but also like we were all kind of expecting it. We knew that she'd been running fast all season. She was in great shape. We knew that she had a good chance of doing it. So that was amazing.
Cool. So make it at NXN. Now we're gonna skip over that and we're gonna save it for a future time when that may or may not happen again. Maybe. So track that year. Two Graces, Abby, Tegan, break the state record in the 4x8 that year. So what was it like watching that happen live? Yes,
we knew that their conference meet, that was their goal. Abby hadn't ran all season because she was just dealing with some other stuff. So this is her first race back, and we knew it meant a huge deal to the seniors to do this because Tegan had been running 210s. Fuzz ran a 210. I think Tegan ended up splitting like a 209, so did Fuzz, and then Grace and Abbey just ran fast. So that was awesome watching them do that. And then I think that the whole team just had great races that day. So it was just fun, like, for them to break the state record, for everyone else to have good races, and to just have a fun experience at conference.
Yeah. So how did breaking the 4x8 really play a role in your own mindset? And how did it kind of not just improve your confidence in the team, but improve your confidence like in your own capabilities?
I would say it really just showed that everything's possible. Like if you really set your mind to a goal and if you really want to do it, you can accomplish what you want to. And so honestly, that lit a fire in the underclassmen's bellies to kind of break that state record again. So once they did that, we were like, let's let them have their moment. Like we'll celebrate for them. This was an amazing accomplishment, but in a few years, let's come back and let's try to break their record in the most humble, kind, like respectful way ever. But it just like showed us that it's possible.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, so you go through that and then sections goes around then state. And in this 2 mile, you run the 2 mile first.
Yep.
And there were two 8th graders, but you were the only freshman in that race.
Okay.
So out of 10, what would you say your confidence level was during that race with a bunch of upperclassmen? So going into the race, I knew that I was seated really well. When the heat sheets came out, I was kind of expecting to be like middle of the pack. I wasn't yet like super into like looking at rankings and everything like that. I was more just like along for the ride at the time. But then the heat sheets came out and I saw that I was seated second right behind Sydney. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm seated second in the state right now. I'm a freshman. And then it was kind of just like, okay, I'll just go run my race. It'll be fun. And my coaches, my teammates did a really good job too of like not hyping it up. Like, yes, this is the state meet. This is a huge deal, but also like you're just here to race and have fun. So we get to the line. I'm obviously really nervous. I get nervous before races, but never in a bad way. I more just let it fuel me. And the gun goes off and I'm kind of just like, okay, let's stick with this top pack. I'm gonna stick behind these girls, just race how I've ran all season. And then the first mile goes by and I'm feeling pretty tired. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm obviously tired. It's been a whole mile. And I think that was only my third 2 mile ever. So like, I didn't really know how to pace 2 miles. So I would just stay behind the front pack and just run my race, like stay behind the girls. And then 800 to go hits. I'm really tired. My legs are burning. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really tough, but like I can do it. I need to stay with these girls. I think there's like Sydney, Caitlin, Mia Hoffman, Taylor Isabel. Yep. And so there's 400 to go and girls start making moves. And so I'm kind of in lane 2 as I can remember it, like the outside of lane 1. And they start to make a move and I'm like, I can't do this. I tuck in behind them. And I'm like, I'm so tired, like I don't think I can do this. And then we get around 200, the girls have kind of stretched out and I'm like, I can do this. Like I only have 200 meters left in this race. I have nothing left to lose. And I'm like, I'm gonna be so mad at myself if I don't give it my all right now. So then I don't even know what happened. My legs started moving faster. I was pumping my arms harder. I can't feel anything in my arms or my legs. Like I'm just like numb to everything. So, and then I like hear the crowd coming and I see
Taylor Isabel going down the finish line, and I'm like, okay, I can catch her, and then I just caught up to her, and I was like, I can't slow down now, like she can't catch back up to me, so then I just kept going through the line.
It was like a 30-meter gap almost, I want to say.
It was
20,
like a
30.
50-meter gap.
50-meter
gap. I have a video of it on my phone if you want to see it.
That's crazy, yeah. I've watched through that race.
Yeah, it was a
that
big
race
gap.
and the race the year after. Where does that kick come from?
Okay. I would say a few things. This could go a few routes. The first one, I've played basketball my whole life. I stopped playing after my freshman year after my back injury, but I think that I got a little bit of a speed side from that because that's a lot of the sprinting, start, go. So then that definitely helped like just get my foot speed under me. And then I would say too, also like growing up with I have 2 older brothers, so growing up with them kind of just like made me, okay, I always want to win. Like I'm a super competitive person. Like I don't like losing, and I just don't like, I don't like to lose, you know?
I mean, especially in an older brother situation.
Yeah, like my 2 older brothers, I was always competing, running away from them.
Yeah, I wish I could do that.
Yeah, and then I would say thirdly, just like the internal drive, like that I really want this. Like I'm gonna push myself to my limits because that's what I want to do. And so just like having goals for myself, and even just like I set a goal with like 300 meters left in that race, like I'm gonna catch this girl, like I can do it. So just having that internal motivation and really being able to kind of like turn off my mind's connection to my body sometimes to like, I know I'm hurting, but in 30 seconds, I'm gonna be able to recover. So like just knowing that and really pushing myself, I think really helped me push myself right to my limit.
So you kind of mentioned like disconnecting your mind from your body. Mm-hmm. How do you do that?
I would say you can never like 100% do it, but I would just say we have a lot of mantras that we use in practice. So like I have phrases that I say to myself over and over and over, like in reps of workouts and stuff, and when it's getting hard, like I know that I can be comfortable in the uncomfortable. And so just knowing that like your body is going to be okay is like really comfortable or like comforting for me to know, because then I'll go into races and I'm like, okay, yes, this is going to be really hard, it's going to hurt really bad, but I'm going to be okay after. I'm going to have my whole team supporting me, my coaches are going to be there supporting me, like the sun still will rise tomorrow. So just like knowing that if I give it all on the race course, that I'll be happy with the result on the ends no matter what, really it just like helps me kind of ignore the pain sometimes.
Yeah. So then cross country next year, all the seniors graduated. So you're kind of left with a newer team, and you're also out that year because you had an injury.
Yeah.
So what was it so first of all, how did your team kind of support you while you were injured?
Yeah. So my back injury, I think, was something that nobody really expected it would be that bad. The girls knew that I was going to the doctor, but they didn't actually really know how much pain I was in or how much it was actually affecting me. And so when we all got the news that I was going to be out for like 6, 8, 9 months, then it was really like kind of a big shock. And I think the whole team was kind of like, what are we going to do? These 4 amazing seniors left, actually 5 with Nora. Like I'm out, Hallen's gone, Kelsey's in, we have a whole new coaching staff. Like it was really just a 180 from what we had before. And especially for Aly too, I think that was tough because like I was the girl that she would race with, and I was the person that like we did workouts together and stuff. So it was just a big change. But I also think that it really helped to motivate a lot of the younger runners like Jesleen and Miley and Addison and a lot of the girls who hadn't had an opportunity to be on the team. Like, okay, like I want this spot. Like this is a good team. And I think it really helped bring up some of the younger girls or newer girls on the team.
Yeah.
So like improve. So I think that it was a blessing and a curse, whereas it helped the other girls on the team.
How about you in your role at the time? Mm-hmm. How did you kind of encourage the team? Yeah,
I would say that year was definitely one of the years that I became like more of a leader on the team. Before then I was just quieter, shyer. I wasn't super into running before, like I said, so I didn't really know what I was doing. I was kind of just following along the seniors. But then, especially like freshman year cross, I started really getting into it more and I was learning more. And now that the seniors were gone, I was like, okay, now it's my job to start leading the team. So like even though I wasn't running, I was doing a bunch of the behind the scenes work. I was working with the coaches and I'd get their splits and workouts, and I was doing a bunch of stuff like that, which really helped me show like the other side of the sport. And that's really where I think my love of the sport came from, was just watching it from not the perspective of a runner, but as somebody who like wants to get better, but also help the team get better.
Yeah, for sure. How would you kind of deal with like because I hear when like someone gets injured, they kind of can feel isolated.
Yeah.
Because they're not running with the team. So how could you kind of deal with those feelings of kind of isolation?
Yeah. It was definitely really hard for me. Like after the start line, like I would walk away crying after I would like say good luck to the girls and stuff, just because it's a hard thing. Like it's a sport that you love. I'm really competitive with it. Like it's definitely hard. But then I think I really tried, like before practice, we all like talk during warm-ups and stuff. So like I would walk and talk with them. And like after practice, we'd have team meetings and stuff, so I could see them then, and we would get together as a team to hang out. And I think really just like having individual like relationships with all the girls, and also just hanging out outside of the sport too, really made me help feel more involved. And then the other girls on the team were pretty good about reaching out and like setting stuff up or saying like, oh, how are you doing? Like, or like, thank you for always like being so great for the team and stuff like that. So I think just reaching out to the other girls too, and like texting them good luck, or like I would send out the night before is like the most important night of sleep for racists, and I'd like send out like a text like saying good luck, and like it was like a long text with a bunch of stuff in it.
Yeah.
So I think just doing little things like that to reach out to the team, and just like, even though, okay, I'm not running right now, what can I do to help that I can? Because like, we always say control the controllables. I can't control that I'm not running right now. So what can I do to make myself feel included, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Are there any new hobbies that you discovered away from running?
During that injury? I've always liked to like cook and bake, but when I was injured, sometimes like for meets, I would like bake cookies or something, and I'd bring them to the meet, or like I would, after Saturday long runs, I'd say, hey, who wants to come to my house and have breakfast? And then I'd like cook pancakes or something for breakfast. So I would say I really liked cooking and baking, and now that's something that I do all the time. Like I was gonna cook dinner tonight, but then I had this, then I couldn't. But
oh, my bad.
No, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. I'll just like cook it tomorrow or something. So I would just say like I found a love for cooking and baking.
Yeah, that's good. I struggle with that question, or not me. Runners struggle with that question.
Yeah, I think it's hard when you're in the sport of running, because like so many runners are like just running, and like a lot of times that's me too. Like I can get really focused in the sport, but then I have to remind myself like, okay, like let's do other things too. And also when I was injured, I was still a manager on the basketball team, so I was still doing that. And I was still like going to basketball events and involved in that too. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So earlier you kind of mentioned that Aly Clayman, she was like your running buddy.
Yeah.
And you've kind of like watched her grow ever since you started. So what's it been like from then to now, like watching her grow as a leader on the team?
Yeah. I think that Aly is like an amazing teammate. And it's been awesome watching her grow. Same as kind of me, from just like a position as a girl on the team who's looking up to the seniors to really being a leader herself. And really just showing like being patient with the sport, being smart with yourself, and just like she would always look out for the other girls in like just like a motherly way. That's kind of the wrong way to put it, but yeah. And even though like I kind of spurted up in like track and cross country, she still was always my biggest supporter and always my biggest fan, and I'll always be hers too. And she's really shown a lot of improvement too in her running. And just like such a great leader for all the younger girls to look up to. Like she was always helping lead drills and like doing pace work for workouts and stuff. So it's been awesome having her as a teammate.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then this past year, you know, I always get the years confused because track and cross country.
Yeah,
are
I know.
years.
I know.
What was it like watching Julia Link just come out of nowhere on her first year out in the team, qualify to NXN that year?
It was awesome. So I knew Julia from track because she did some distance stuff. She also did like some 400 stuff, but I didn't really know her. And I knew that she was a good runner. We knew that she was going to come out for cross, but she'd always just been like, she played soccer, and so she would do that. And so then after the first race, I was like, whoa, like, she's really fast. Like, okay, I didn't know that she was Grace Link's sister at the time. I figured that out like a month into the season. But then she just like really just fit into the team. Like, it didn't ever seem like she was an outsider at all. She just kind of hopped right in, and the first week we were like, who is this girl? And then all of a sudden she was just like a part of the team, and she was a part of it, and she belonged there. And she really made a name for herself, because I think that a lot of times it was tough for her, like, being in Grace Link's shadow, like, oh, you're Grace Link's sister, like, oh, like, you need to, like, beat Grace Link's time. But then, like, after the first race or two, it was really just, like, she made her own name. She was her own person, and she was really successful in the sport, and she'll continue to be at NDSU, hopefully. So it was just, like, she was new to the team, but she seemed like she had been there just as long as any of us had.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I mean, I met Julia before I met Grace.
Yeah.
Because I was too young. But like, just seeing them in action, like, they're the most like excited leader like people ever. It's so freaking cool just watching them kind of encourage a team. Like, if you told me Julia was in her second year of cross country, I wouldn't believe you for a second.
Me neither.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, Julia also brings a really good side of having fun in the sport and having fun outside the sport. Just because she was new to it, she really just did it to have fun. Like, she was super competitive. She really wanted it. She worked really hard. But after we were done with the workout, she was always the one who was making people laugh on the cool down, or like really just bringing up the spirit of the team.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you feel more nervous for your own success or for other people's success?
This kind of depends sometimes. I would say, to be completely honest, in track, probably my own success. Not a lot of pressure on myself. I hold myself to high standards, and I have expectations for myself, and I have big goals for myself. So I wouldn't say I get nervous before races, but I think that I deal with my nerves well. Like, I don't ever let it get to me, but I definitely like have goals for myself, and I work really hard for them. So I think that I get more nervous for myself, knowing that like I have expectations for myself, whereas for my teammates, I'm like, I just want you to go out there and have fun. I want you to race your race. I want you to do your best that you can, and I'll be proud of you no matter what. Yeah, and then in cross country, I would say kind of both, because we're a team sport. Like, track is a team sport too, but in cross country, all 7 of the varsity girls, or if it's more, like, they make an impact. So then I think that I get more nervous for like I hope that they do well. I hope that they can place well so that we can qualify for this meet, or so that we do well and so that they're proud of themselves too. So yeah, kind of both.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, because that's how track and cross country kind of are structured. What's it like running relays?
Oh, I love running relays. I didn't get to do it as much during track, just because, especially with my injury, I wasn't in as many races, and with like doing 16:32 doubles, you can't do any more than that. But like, especially freshman and sophomore year, I did a ton of 4x4s, and those are so fun, because I literally just go out there and sprint the whole thing. You don't even have time to think. That's super fun. And then in 4x8s too, it's just awesome. Like, I'd anchor a lot of times, so it was awesome like watching my team, and then I really get into it because I'm like this is for our 4x8 team, like we need to do this together. And it's just awesome to like have 3 other girls in your relay team to warm up with, cool down with, and then just like to race too. So
would you say you build a more special relationship with the people that you relay with?
I would say yes and no, because we switch up who's in our relays a lot. Like, in the 4x8, it's never always the same 4 people, and typically in the 4x8, it's like the girls that I've ran with during cross-country seasons. Like, I already have good relationships with them, so I wouldn't say that I have like special relationships with them, but then I would say in like the 4x4, we have better relationships with the sprinters who are on the 4x4, because we're in a relay team with them and we're cheering for them more. So I'd say in like the 4x4, yes, kind of, but then in like the 4x8, it's really just
cross country.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I was expecting. Yeah, I mean, just in general, like, especially for the 4x4, what's it like running with people that aren't really in your event group and having to like cooperate with like the hurdlers? I mean, you know the Instagram, the meme where it's like the hurdler, the 2-miler.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's still a little bit separate because the sprinters do a way different warm-up than we do, but it's just like fun talking to them before and after the races, and just like our practices are pretty separate. Like, we meet in separate groups and stuff. Once a week we'll meet in a big group, but we never really do stuff with the sprinters, so it's fun. Like, especially when we go to state, we did like a full team carb up with the sprinters and stuff, and then like we knew them from the 4x4, and then they knew like the 4x2 people, so then we all kind of integrated, and that's always really fun to get to know different people who are also really talented, but just talented in different ways that we don't get to like create relationships with them.
You mentioned anchoring at state. What's it like?
So freshman year I anchored in the 4x8 and the 4x4, and the 4x8 was awesome because I knew Evie was anchoring Minnetonka's 4x8, and I always like anchoring. Some people don't like it because it's a lot of pressure, and if they pass you, then it's not all on you, but it kind of feels like it is because you were the person who got passed at the end when you finish. But I just love like the challenge of it. And so it was really fun. Like when I learned that I was anchoring, I was like, okay, like I need to do this for my team. And so it was really fun knowing that I had my whole team supporting me and stuff. And then in the 4x4, it's a little bit more frustrating for me because like in a 4x8, when you're running, you feel like you can sprint a little bit faster if you really need to. Like I push myself 110%, but if I'm like on the backstretch, like it's not like a girl's gonna pass me and I'm physically not able to like keep up with them for like however long. But in the 4x4, like I can be sprinting and a girl passes me and I can do absolutely nothing about it because I'm moving as fast as I can. So like in freshman year, I think I got passed down the home stretch to the 4x4. My whole team was super like okay with it. Like I didn't put it on myself at all. But it was awesome having the opportunity to do both of that. And then like the 4x4 too. At state, I don't think it was it was the last event at state my freshman year. So it was just fun to like cap off like anchoring the 4x4 my freshman year was really fun.
So you kind of mentioned like anchoring the relay and the pressure that's involved in it. Do you think that the pressure builds more and more as the season progresses, or is it kind of the same throughout the season?
I would say yes, kind of. But typically also the same people anchor it so they know how to deal with it, kind of. So like obviously a race like sections or Hamlin or state is gonna be more pressure than like a random meet out in Buffalo that we do. But at the same time, like our whole team's just there to have fun. Like nobody's gonna get mad at you if you get passed in the home stretch because they know that you're not trying to get passed. Like they know that you're gonna try your best. So yeah.
Yeah. So then cross country, 2024. So St. Olaf, your first race back.
Yes.
What was the kind of mindset that you had knowing you hadn't run in 2 years?
So I knew that I was fit coming into cross country season because I had a really good track season. I hit a few PRs. I didn't PR in the 32, but I ran my PR. I ran 10:39 again. And I PR'd in the mile, so I knew that I was fit and I came off of good summer training. But I really didn't know where I was going to be at my cross country season because the last cross country season that I had ran had been freshman year before like my freshman track season. And so my PR going into that year was 18:15. And I really just like went out on that first race knowing that I had a good base, but just like, okay, like bring it on. Like I was out last cross country season, but I'm gonna be back this year. It was definitely a really different experience because I had been used to in cross country having Abby go out, Tegan was gonna go out, I'd be in my fuzz with Grace, or I'd be in my pack with Grace and Aly. And so I was like, me and Lila went out at that St. Olaf race together, and it was awesome having her there just to like know that it's gonna be okay. Like she's going through the same thing that I am, and I was like, I'm just gonna go out there and have fun. And I ended up getting second to Nora at St. Olaf. I ran 18:26. I was like way faster than I thought I was gonna be. So that was just really fun, like going in, knowing that I came back from my injury and like I was still just as good of a runner as I was before. Right. And so I think just knowing that like the changes that I went through and just like growing and stuff was okay for me. And that was really comforting, like after my first race, knowing that like I am the same runner that I was before, if not better.
Yeah, especially early season.
Yeah.
That's always a thing. So we're gonna fast forward to state. What were you looking for state this year? Yeah. Our team goal at state was to bring home the team title. And we obviously did that. We knew that we had a good chance. We knew Prior Lake was good. We knew Forest Lake was decent. We knew Tonka was decent. But we had gone undefeated in the season and we were pretty confident going in. At least I was pretty confident that the team was gonna win. The individual championship was something that I knew was gonna be super, super tough. I knew that Nora was a super strong runner, and I
my goal, I will say, going into the race was to win state, and that didn't happen. Nora ended up beating me. But that wasn't something that I was mad about because Nora was an amazing runner. She'd beat me throughout the season too. I beat her at GRIAC, I think. But I knew that it was going to be really tough, and she just ran a really strong race. And I had a great race too, but she just ended up pulling out with the win. And so that's definitely something that was awesome for her, and I was really proud of her for, and I was really proud of getting second place too, especially after freshman year. I got 32nd? No, 20 something? I don't know. I didn't run as well my freshman year, let's just say that. So it was just fun going into it. I knew Nora deserved it. She'd won it the year before, so it was awesome for her senior year to win that. And then for our team to win, it was just awesome. Like, we brought home our third state title in a row, and that, I don't know if that's ever happened in Wayzata history, so that was also really fun.
Yeah, it's super cool. And then NXR, what happened there?
2 years ago when I was injured, I don't think any of us were really expecting the team to go to NXN, especially in the beginning of the season. As the season went on, it became more of a reality. We were like, okay, like, they can really do this. And then this year, or not this year, like this past cross-country season, we were like, let's make it to NXN. Like, that was our big goal, like, throughout the whole season. If we ever had a tough workout, we're like, pick up your head, let's think about December, like, think about November. Like, we still have a long way left in the season, but like, this is really our big goal, is in November and December. So going into NXR, there was definitely more of a nervous vibe to the team. Like, we'd made it the year before, and we had me back as like a top runner, and we'd only lost one senior from the top 7 who was like our 6th or 7th runner. So it was definitely like nerves of like, what if we don't qualify? And there was the Pella Dutch, who were looking super good on paper, and they did still run a really good race. They didn't end up qualifying. The Dragoons did. We didn't really think about them, but it was just like, we were all nervous, and especially like the day before running the course preview, you could just tell that there was a little bit more tension in the air, but it was definitely still super fun. And like, stepping up to the line, we were all just humble and ready to be there to fight with our teammates and do what we came there to do. So, yeah.
So when you finished, what was it like looking back and waiting for your team to follow?
When I finished, I was really proud of my race. I ran a huge PR, and so that was awesome. And then I saw Lila come through, and she ran a great race too, and so did everyone else. And just like, there was so much anticipation of like, okay, like, we need to come through before Pella, because obviously Marissa won, and then there were other really good runners for Pella. And so just waiting for my teammates to cross, and our 5th runner finished, and we were like the first team to have all of our 5 runners in, and we won. It was just an awesome experience. Like, it was just more of like a weight off of our shoulders. Like, we did it, like, we're going through. And it's just always such a surreal moment. Like, it never seems like it's actually happening until you're actually on the plane going to NXN. You're like, I'm flying to Oregon. Like, it isn't really real until, and also like, when you go sit in the tent after NXR, you sit in this tent for like 30 minutes inside a bunch of papers, and you get this whole spiel. We know Denise, who's our NXR rep from Heartland and stuff, so it was just awesome, like, after the race, having all the pressure off of our shoulders and just like moving on to, okay, let's go to NXN now.
So I say this for now, but like, how did NXN in 2024 compare to your first trip in your freshman year?
Yes. So how did my last NXN compare to my first one?
Yeah.
So I would say my first NXN, we had really big goals as a team as well, because our 4 seniors were running really well. I was really a pretty decent runner and stuff. I ended up finishing 2nd for my team that year. I think a big thing for me is I wasn't really like, I didn't look at heat sheets. I didn't really know the big runners in the country. I just kind of went out there and raced my race. And I think that was really helpful for me, because I was also in basketball season then, so it was really weird. I was like practicing in basketball, but I wasn't scrimmaging, but I was doing everything else. And then like, I'd run after practice sometimes, or sometimes like I'd skip basketball and run, or sometimes I'd skip running and do basketball. So it was really weird, but just like, I was just there to have fun. I was just there to be there. I was on the team. I was a great runner. I was friends with all the girls, so it was just a fun experience for me. But I think that the other seniors had a lot of pressure on themselves, because our goal going into that was to get top 5. We got 9th, which was still an amazing accomplishment, and all of us were happy with it. But it was just like a tough course. It was super cold. It was super windy, and we all ran well, but I think that some of the girls would have wanted to run a little bit better. And so in 2023, going into NXN, we didn't really have any expectations. We were just like, we qualified, and qualifying was kind of our goal. We didn't really have any goals going into it as a team. And then in 2024, going into NXN, we were like, we had goals as a team. We were like, okay, we qualified last year. Like, I'm back, Lila's running. Like, we have a really strong team. And so we went in there with the mindset of we're going to go out here and have fun, but we're also going to like be confident. We're going to hold our heads high. Like, we're not going to look at another team and be scared of them. We're going to like look at another team and say like, we belong with them. We're going to run with them. And so we didn't really have, my goal at the beginning of the season was to get top 7 at NXN, and we finished 9th, which our whole team was still super proud of. That's still something that I'm super proud of us for doing. And a lot of the team had great races. I think that going into NXN, just like always, there's a really long break in between NXR and NXN,
Yeah.
so like the taper's weird and stuff, so that might have affected us a little bit, but we all had great races and it was really fun going into it.
Yeah. What is your favorite, from the 3 NXNs you've been to, what was your favorite non-running memory?
Okay, so I've raced in 2, flown out to 3. I would say, this is a tough one. Always after the race is super fun because everybody is like just happy. Like, the race is done, the race nerves are over with. You can go to the after party. So that's always a huge highlight. Last year, Cole Hawker was there, so I got to meet Cole Hawker. That was awesome because the past 2 years I've been more into running. I follow it more. Now I know like a lot of the professional runners, the collegiate athletes. I pay attention to more high school athletes. So I knew Cole Hawker. I watched him win the Olympics, and I was like talking to this gold medalist. Like, that was awesome, meeting him. I also think it's super fun. You get to tour the Nike headquarters there, so that's awesome. You get to like run with these Nike people there, and you get the gear drop and stuff. But honestly, just like talking to the other high school runners there too, because they're all there for the same reason as you, because they qualify and they're really talented runners, but they're also just there to have fun.
Cool. So this past year, we saw Jane Hennegren break the course record. So I'm kind of curious, is it easy for you to like appreciate that talent and look at it as like, oh, that's super cool that she did that? Or do you think that that doing that kind of caused you to like compare yourself to her? And
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I would say more of the first. Like, I'm super proud of her for doing that, and she well deserved that. She works super hard. Like, she's really in tune with her body and like how she feels and how she recovers and how she trains and stuff. And I think it's more just inspiring for me, showing that like the possibilities are open for anything. Like, her 1,600 meter time, or no, 1,500 meter time, one of the two. I think it was the mile time. Her mile time was faster than any NCAA mile times this year. So like,
Oh, I should know this. I was literally watching a Jane Hennegren video on the way back.
I think you might have to fact check me or fact check me.
Yeah, so quick fact check. Jane's mile, so not 1,600, but mile, is 4:23.50, which is faster than Susie Hamilton's NCAA outdoor record of 4:27.31, but it's 4/100ths of a second slower than Solana Yildiz' NCAA indoor record of 4:23.46.
And then just like, and especially like she broke 15 in the 5K this year, like that's never been done by a high schooler. Like I think it's just super inspiring for me to know that like she also just ran, like she's also just another runner, like she's just another human being. So obviously it makes me want to like push myself more so I can be like her, but like just knowing that I can do what my own body can do, she can do what hers can do, she can maybe break 15 in the 5K, I probably can't yet. But it's just like it's inspiring to know that the future is there, like the possibilities are open.
Okay, so now we're on a track. It's gonna be a bit of an oddball question, but it'll make sense. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how anxious did you feel about your 4x8 at Lake Conference Championships?
4.
4. What happened during the 4x8?
So we all kind of had our splits. We all had to run 2:14.85 to break the state record. I ran a 2:12 split at the beginning of the season. I knew that I was fast, but I hadn't ran an 800 since the beginning of the season. But I was really confident in myself and my abilities. And then we knew Jasleen was probably going to run like 2:17, 2:18. And we knew Julia was also a really strong runner. She could run like 2:11, 2:12, and Addison kind of the same thing. And so I don't remember the exact splits, but we knew like going into the race, like, okay, this is what you should split, this is what you should split, this is what you should split. So Addison started us off. I think she split at 2:14, which is exactly what she needed to split. And I was just watching the scoreboard and the time, and I was like, okay, she hit her split, like she's on pace, like we got this. Like I had kind of the confidence in myself knowing that we could do it, and knowing that like I knew that I could anchor it strongly. I knew that all the other girls were fit and running well. And then I think it was Jasleen who was next, and she ran, I believe, a 2:18, which is what we wanted her to run. Like that was like, okay, like we got this. Julia's gonna lock in, like she's gonna run fast. And so she came through. Her first lap was a 62.
Yeah, that was insane to watch. He just guns at 200. I'm like, geez.
And I think she split a 70 as the last lap, which is still amazing.
Yeah.
She ran 2:12, which is just what we needed her to do. Came through the 1200 and 7:46. And so I knew, I was looking at the scoreboard as Julia was coming in. I was like, okay, I need to run a 2:12 or faster. So like that whole first 400, I was just thinking to myself like 2:12, 2:12, 2:12, 2:12. Like I was just repeating it in my head, like I need to go. And I was used to doing more longer races because I'd been in like the 16:32, but I was like, I know I have the foot speed. I'm confident in myself. Like I hadn't really been training for it because I'd been doing longer interval stuff, but I was like, I knew I can do it. And then coming through the 400, I had to close in a 69. And because I looked at the board and it was 7:51. So I was like, okay, I need to close in a 69. So I was just thinking like run for my life. Like I need to do this for my team. I want to do this for myself. And I ended up splitting a 2:11 in that relay, which is just what we needed to break the state record. And then it was just awesome, like having the whole team there afterwards celebrating. Like I looked up at the clock, waiting for the results to come in. And then when I saw that it was official, I was like, we did it. Like this is what we worked for the season. This was our big goal. And then just like, again, like after NXR, the weight was just lifted off of our shoulders and it was just fun. And then I ran an open 400, which it went all right. It didn't go too hot, but I wasn't expecting it to go amazingly.
It's a victory lap.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then my foot also was not doing great at the time, but during the race, it just like, I was like, I just need to go race. Like, yeah.
Well, I was worried about the weather.
Oh yeah, the weather also wasn't great, but then
it cleared just like
it cleared right during the race.
But you mentioned that you were a 4 to 10, which not too bad.
No,
right?
I was like nervous going into the race, but I was just like, let's go have some
like a
fun.
healthy amount.
Like this is something that us four set for ourselves and that our coach helped us set, but like if we don't do it, there's really no consequence. This isn't a qualifying race, like it's just a conference race. We're gonna go out there and have fun. If we do it, we do it. If we don't, it'll be okay.
And you still broke the state record.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I guess, I mean, this is something I really learned too as I pursued like media. It's like, it doesn't really matter what my nerves are like. Yeah. You can still perform.
Yeah.
Without having to hype yourself up and just overwhelm yourself with nerves before races, which is something that...
I think that it's a really big tool knowing how to use your nerves.
Yeah.
Because nerves are a really good thing to have. Like if you don't have nerves, that means that you don't care for the sport.
Exactly.
So like just knowing that your nerves are like literally there to fuel you, like there's like, they like send you adrenaline basically. So like having nerves is a good thing and then using those to your advantage.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned letting your nerves fuel you, which is a very good mindset to have. So back in December of this year, I pull up to a Nordic meet for the first time. You know where this is going, don't you?
Oh my goodness.
And I see, this isn't about that race, don't worry.
It's okay if it is, but yeah, okay.
But I just see you in the Nordic uniform. I'm like, shoot, she's doing Nordic.
Yep.
So what made you choose to do Nordic?
Yeah, so I have always loved basketball since I was little. I've done it since I was in like kindergarten. I did it all my life growing up. It was a really good way for me and my dad to connect to. He was my coach growing up. But then after my back injury and just like going into high school, I just kind of grew out of the love for the sport. It'll always like have a special place in my heart. Like I still like going out and playing horse sometimes, like playing one-on-one with one of my brothers or my friends or something. But then I didn't want to run all winter because I'd been injured and I was like I feel like my body needs a break from running sometimes. So I still ran throughout the winter. I still ran like 10 or 15 miles a week, but I just like not nearly as much as before. So I was like, okay, well, what's something that I could do instead? Because I'm not going to be playing basketball. I don't just want to sit around the house and like bike. Like biking is fine, but it gets long. I've biked enough with being injured. And then Miley and Lila were always like, Maddie, you should join Nordic. You should join Nordic. Like, do you want to do Nordic? And then I was like, I'll give it a go. So I decided to try a new thing. And I think it was really good for me too, just like trying a new thing. Like I wasn't great at it at first. I fell down every 10 seconds I tried. Like I fell into the ditch at Elm Creek so many times, more than I can count. I don't even know. So just like the reason I did it was just to stay in shape throughout the season and just like get different muscles working, like doing something different.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of mentioned like, not being so good at it the first time, but like, what do you think the value is of kind of getting out of your comfort zone and trying something new?
I think it's really important. Just like, no matter what you do in life, like whether it's if you try baking something new that you've never baked before, or like trying a hard class, or like trying a new hobby that you don't know if you'll be great at or not. I think it's just really good for like character building and like knowing that you're not going to be amazing at everything, but if you practice and work hard enough, like I woke up early a lot of mornings to go and ski on my own and try to better my technique and get better, and I'd watch videos and I would lift on my own throughout the season, and I was like in this different training program just to like work to try to get better. And I just think it like really builds character, knowing that you can improve in things, and like even if you start out terrible at something, like you can improve yourself through like working hard.
Yeah. What did you learn about yourself and your ability to try new things after trying Nordic for a year?
Yeah. It worked a lot on my patience, because I'm a pretty like athletic person. I catch on to things pretty quickly. On skiing, like I caught on to it pretty quickly too, but also just like I learned that like things aren't always just given to you, and like but by working hard I can accomplish my goals. And like at the end of the season I didn't exactly ski how I wanted to at state, but it was my first year skiing. I can't really like hold myself to huge expectations from that, but just like seeing the progression from myself throughout the season. Like I watched the first video that my mom took of me racing. It was a classic race and I was going up a hill at Highland, and like I like fell down twice going up the hill, and I like at the end I just picked up my poles and I just started running. And I think it's just like
I think I was there. I think I saw that happen.
Probably.
You started running.
Yep,
I was
probably.
like, this is the NXN when you going up those two hills.
That one was in the backstretch, yep. And I heard you were like, these two NXN hills, you got this. I heard you cheering during that. But I think it was just a huge character building moment for me, because it was like, I sucked at something at first. Like the first race, I did not like, I did well. I won my race. I would have placed well on JV1 too. But like compared to how I was used to racing, it was not good for me. And so it was just like, I wasn't mad about it, but it was just like something to really work for myself. And like, it just gave me a new motivation for stuff. And it was really fun to like try something new and give myself a break from running, because in track season I had these goals and I was like, okay, like next race, like, or
I
in
gotta
cross
split
country season.
212 for the 800.
Yeah, or like in cross country season, it's like, okay, I want to be top 10 at NXN, I think, or at NXR. I think I got like 11th. No, I think I got 10th or 11th. Yeah, one of the two. I think I was 10th. So it was just really nice to like kind of have a break too from the mental side of running and just trying something new. Like me and Rachel would ski together a lot, and we'd just laugh about it. Like we'd just be skiing along talking, and then one of us would face plant and then we'd start laughing. Like it was just a fun experience to try something new. So
yeah, that's super cool. All right, so now just thinking about like Wayzata, just cross country, Nordic track, even just the whole the endurance community overall. What makes it so special to you?
Ooh, there are a lot of different ways that this one could go. I think just like, especially in distance, all the people are just so nice. Like they're all just there to support one another. Like sometimes the sprinters can get like mean, or like, I don't know, not on Wayzata, but like just in like sports in general, I feel like. And all the distance runners are always so bubbly, so happy, like great job, like I'll give you a hug after your race and stuff. And I think it's just fun to like have that huge group of people there supporting you. And like, especially in cross and Nordic, there's just one big race, so all the fans are there to cheer one race, unless obviously like different classes, but like in track there are a bunch of different races, so the cheering isn't as loud. But then in cross country, everybody's there to just watch the one race, so it's really fun to have everybody there supporting.
Yeah, it's super cool. Kind of expanding on like the whole Minnesota, even a step further to like the greater Minnesota community, like what do you think that Minnesota runners, distance athletes, whatever's are like as people, based on your impression?
Yeah. I think that they're all just really nice people. We all have a love for the same thing. Well, I hope that you love running. If you don't, it's okay. But I love running, and I think that a lot of the girls that I talk to also do. And like after races, there's never hatred for one another. It's always just like, you did so amazing, like I'm so proud of you. And I think that that's just a really good trait of Minnesota runners. I don't know if it's like that in other states or not. At NXN, I didn't really think about that. But I know in Minnesota, at least all the runners are just there to have fun.
I mean, I get so surprised, and like I'm so like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, wow, the Minnesota running community is so nice. Like,
Yeah, it's
why am I
like-
so surprised? It's the running community, and it's like one of the nicest states in the country. Like,
Yeah.
It totally makes a lot of sense. What is something that a competitor did or said to you that was impactful?
I don't know if I have one specific like moment. I know that Nora's just like said some really insightful things. She's been a super nice person to kind of look up to, because she was at NXN as an individual one of the years that I was there, and just like having her after races, like she's always just super kind and shows like how to be humble as a runner after your race, and like she's always there like congratulating you, and she obviously has huge goals herself, but she's really good at like always looking out for the other runners too.
Perfect. This might be the answer to my next question,
Okay.
but who's a competitor who's really pushed you throughout your running career so far?
Okay, I would say Nora, but I'd also say Evie, even though she was a year younger. She always seems like she's in my grade. I don't think of her as a year younger than I am. I don't really know why, but her, because like she was always been a super amazing athlete, and just like especially in track, looking up to somebody like her. And then also like Sydney Drevlo, Abby Nekanicki, like all the like good runners who I'd always like looked up to, and now that like I've kind of become them, and in a sense kind of just like as a front runner, I think it was awesome to kind of like look up to them and kind of have that example and them leading that role in races and stuff to kind of look up to.
Yeah. I still find it awesome that Nora invited you to her grad party.
Yeah, that was fun going.
Like,
yeah, me and Jazz drove down there together, and it was a fun time.
Like, what other sport are you going to invite your competition to?
Yeah,
a grad party?
yeah.
Like, that's like...
That just shows
It's
how
crazy.
nice Minnesota running
Yeah.
is, I guess.
So I was at GRIAC last year, and I kind of noticed when you guys were running that you guys had like written some stuff on your hands.
Yeah.
And it said stuff like, you can,
Yeah.
no fear. And
Yeah.
my personal favorite picture, I think it was Rachel, it's a drawing of Pac-Man, and it said, I eat.
So the Pac-Man thing is kind of from Coach Kelsey, actually.
Oh, really?
We like to go out conservatively in our races, and she's like, let's just gobble up the competition. So it's like we do this like it's a Pac-Man.
That's fun.
And we're like a big team of mantras. So like before the race, we have like team mantras and stuff. And I said like I have mantras that I repeat to myself in my head, like during workouts and during races and stuff. And we believe that that's a really good correlation to like your race, because if you repeat something to yourself over and over, it like creates nerve bonds in your brain. There's like actually science behind it.
That's true.
And so just like having that on your hand, for me, I don't even look at it, I don't even think about it during my races, but it's more like a pre-race ritual to kind of get me in the right mindset of like, okay, I'm here to race now, like I'm here to do this for my team. And just like, I have the same things that I wear, or not that I wear, that I write on my hand. Sometimes I switch it up, but I always have some of the same things. Just like knowing that we all have like something written on our hands is kind of just like, we're out there to race for our team, we're out there to race for ourselves as well. Like we're just there to compete.
Yeah, and like I've been doing it too. And I think like the act of just like writing it down kind of puts it in your brain as well, not necessarily like, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like I'll write it down.
Yeah.
Gets wet, gets washed off in the rain, but it's still in there. True team state.
Yeah.
What is the role of cross-country camp in building a strong preseason community?
So every year before the season, we go to Baker. I think it's awesome because at Baker, we're put into groups with girls that are not in our training group. So it's awesome to get to know the other runners, and it really creates a sense of community, especially when we go to meets. Like, I know, like, hopefully by the end of the Baker, my goal is to know every single name on the team, which is hard because it's like 80 girls, but then just like building those bonds really, I think, like, helps us push each other, because we're all like, they all know who I am, I know who they are, so like I'm gonna be cheering for them in their races, and I hope that they do the same for me. And I think it just like really helps a total team effort going into races and stuff.
You're pretty good at this, right? You're answering all the questions I have before, so
sweet.
I'm crossing them out. Okay, so I think the first meet that I was at was late conference relays.
Okay.
And I remember talking to you before the race. I was like, oh, what are you looking for, for this race? And you just kind of said, like, I want to have fun and I want to go run. So expanding kind of more on that sentiment a little bit, like, what does it mean for you to have fun before a race? And kind of how do you remind yourself to have that, like, fun first mindset and remove the pressure?
I think that having my teammates there is a really big part of that, because some girls who come there aren't racing, or some of them are just alternates, then they're really just there to have fun. And then just like during my warm-ups, I like to kind of keep more to myself. I don't like talk as much. Sometimes I do, but I like to kind of like get in my own headspace then. But like, especially before, when you're raiding around in camp for 4 hours, it's not good for you to just like be in your own head and thinking about your race the whole time. So just like going to the different events and watching them, and just knowing like, yes, this sport is a huge part of my life, but this is just one of my hobbies. Like, this is the same thing as how I like to walk my dog. Like, I don't, like, it's not the end of the world if you don't accomplish your goals. And obviously, like, this season was really important for me, like, going to college and stuff, but I just knew that, like, if I had fun, the results would come with it. So, like, I'm going to be super competitive, I'm going to give it my all, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be proud of what I accomplished, because I knew that I competed, like, I knew that I gave it my all, so.
Yeah. And then expanding on that too, like, how do you kind of learn as you grow older and mature as a person? How do you, like, try to separate your running identity with your just identity as a person?
Yeah, I don't really think about it as like separating my identities, but just knowing when to take a step back from one of them. Knowing that at track practice, I'm gonna be at track. We're gonna try to leave behind my personal life, and not in a sense, like during a workout, I don't want to be thinking about my tests that did or didn't go well in the past class, like, but then like when I'm at home, or if I am hanging out with my friends, I'll be conscious, especially like towards the end of the season, or like now when I'm healing from an injury, like I'm not gonna like stay out till like 1 o'clock and then come home and go to bed late. So like kind of, how do I say this? Like having a healthy relationship with knowing when to like go all in for running, and knowing just when to like have fun with my friends, or like knowing, okay, maybe I shouldn't like go walk around for 3 hours the day before a meet, stuff like that. But then also just like knowing that track isn't everything and cross country isn't everything, and like relationships with my friends and people outside of running is super important too. So kind of just finding a balance between the two. I don't think that there's one right answer for that. I think that for different people it's different. So yeah.
I mean, it seems for you like it's both a physical and a mental affair, like, which is interesting. What does a positive meet experience look like for you outside of just racing?
I would say for me, just like having fun with the team, and like if the team does well, and even if I don't do super great in a race, whereas I've never had a terrible race. I've had races that I'm not as proud of as other races, but I've never like had a race where I've completely like died out or anything. So I think that a successful race for me would just, or like a positive meet for me, would just be one where like the whole team is there to have fun. We're all there to like compete. We're all giving it our best. I'm going to try my best. I hope that I do well in my race. And then just like having fun with the team afterwards. Like the bus ride home is always like super fun. We typically go out to get food after, and just like making it more of a day kind of really makes it a positive experience. Yeah.
Do you guys also have a Culver's nearby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys have one?
Yeah.
We haven't gone to Culver's as much, but we still go a decent amount. Yeah.
There's one like right here.
Oh really?
Like we're by a Minnetonka.
Yeah, ours is right over the hill on Peony. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like 55.
Yeah.
That's cool. How do you mentally reset after a bad race? Or maybe if in your case, like a race that didn't go as well as you wanted it to.
I more think of it as like, where can I grow from this race? Like, what didn't go so well and why didn't it go so well? So instead of being like frustrated with how I did, I try to think of like, what did I do that made the race go bad? Or like, what was I thinking in the moment that made me slow down, or that made me like have a side ache, or like why didn't I perform? And then just like trying to fix those things in the past. And like I was saying before, like control the controllables. So like I can control what I eat and how like long before the race I eat this and stuff. So like cross country season, I was struggling with like stomach problems after my races. Like it was terrible. Like there was one meet after conference, I was on the bus and I like was sitting in the back seat like sobbing because my stomach hurt so bad, but then I was also like laughing because all the other girls were laughing, and it was just a whole bunch of emotions all at once.
Like that wouldn't be good for your stomach either.
No, okay, it was just like a big thing. So then like switching small things like during workouts, or like fueling before races, to really learn like what works for me and what doesn't work for me. So like coming out of a bad race, I know, like I write in a journal, I'm like, what went well, what didn't go well, and then I'm like, okay, well, how can I improve on this? So instead of like putting myself down for it, it's more like, how can I do better next time?
So you kind of mentioned journaling. How has that played a role in your running career?
Okay, so journaling is something that I love the idea of it, and I do it on and off, but then when I actually get into it, I start writing, and then I'm just like, I don't want to write for this long. Or like, I don't want to do this. So I try to do it after most of my races. I don't always get into it. There was a period of time where I'd journal every day before I went to bed, and I think it's really nice to like look back on, and it helps me remember my old memories. Like I had journal entries written from 8th grade season, looking up to Abby and Tegan and them and stuff, up to like now, whereas like after some of my races, I look back at my journaling, and I just like, it's kind of a way for me to get my thoughts out on paper, and just like really like calm myself down after races sometimes, because instead of being frustrated it's like, okay, like I said before, what can I do next time? Like, and then I can really just like write down what works for me, and then I can go back in my journal entries and see like, oh, like this worked for me, I kind of forgot about this, maybe I can try this again.
Yeah, I mean, it comes back to like the mental reset about like, you know, figuring out what worked, what didn't work.
Yeah.
It's like something I do too for like what I do. Like for this, I'll be like, okay, I did this right. I asked this question. It's a good question.
Yeah.
But this one was not so good. So how do I fix it next time?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a thing that helps us a lot. How do you plan to lead the team this year as a senior?
Yeah. I think already I've been trying to. And like, I just want to be somebody who leads by example. Like, I'm going to work super hard in practice. Like during the workouts, I'm going to run the workouts to their intention, and I'm going to fuel correctly. I'm going to get enough sleep. I'm going to do these things for the team to look up to, but then I'll also just be like your teammate who's there to have fun, who's there to like, if you have questions, like I want to be the person that you can come up to and ask. And I want to be there to help the younger runners, because like for me, when I was younger, it was really helpful to have the seniors to look up to. So like every Wednesday at summer cross country, we have watermelon Wednesday, so I cut up watermelon and I bring it to practice every Wednesday. Or like even now I'm not running, but I can still go, and like today the girls had a track workout, so I went to cheer them on in their track workout. And I just think like I'm gonna try to lead by showing like you can have really big goals for yourself, but also have fun with it, and just like be happy with yourself with whatever result comes out of it. Right. So I think just trying to lead by example, and lead by like even sending out a message like, hey, the apparel closes tonight, make sure that you order, or like just kind of like being the step in between the coach and the girls, so that there's kind of a connection. Like if they don't want to go right to the coach, they can come to me and ask me questions. Yeah.
What legacy do you want to leave behind at Wayzata?
I just want to be somebody who the girls, they see like, so I won Gatorade Player of the Year this year, and you get like a banner in the hallway, like they see the banner and they're like, oh my gosh, do you remember Maddie? She was such a talented runner, but she was also like always just so kind and always working hard, and she just like was such a great person to look up to. I just want to be that person who like is a really good runner, but also just like a really good person.
And you're doing a good job.
Thanks.
Because I got an email from a parent who had their daughter running the race. You were in the race with your daughter, and she sent me a email. Now, most of the emails I get, I'm a photographer. Hey, where are the photos? And she's like, oh, but could you also try to find some photos of my daughter with Maddie? Because my daughter really looks up to Maddie.
Yeah.
And it would mean a lot to her if you could get her a picture of her and Maddie, because she looks up to her. So, super cool. But just kind of flip that question on its head a little bit, like, who do you look up to now in the sport of running?
Yeah. Professional, high school, collegiate.
Doesn't matter?
Yeah, I'll do kind of both. Or I'll do all three.
Yeah.
So in high school, I would just say, like, honestly, all of my teammates, like, even the girls who are racing on JV or say that they're, like, our 30th runner on the team, like, everybody at practice, like, well, not everybody, most people at practice try really hard in their workouts and, like, they give it their all and they just, like, want to get better. And so that is really inspiring to me. Like, even though I'm a better runner than they are right now, like, they're also just, like, they have their own personal goals. Like, they want to do really well. So just, like, all my teammates in that sense. And then in college, like, I saw, what's her name? Pamela
Koske.
Koske. Like, her, like, winning things for New Mexico was awesome to look up to. And, like, when Parker Valby was in college, just, like, again, with the Jane, like, knowing that things are possible. Or the girl from Alabama won the steeplechase and set a record in that. So I think it's awesome to, like, follow along the collegiate athletes, too. And, like, I've been able to meet a lot of them, too, on visits that I've been to. So just, like, it's cool to meet girls who have the same goals as you and who want to work really hard just like you do. And then professionally, like, Carissa Schweitzer, Valerie Constantine, Parker Valby, who went to the Olympics, Quincy Wilson, he's in high school actually, but, like, just, like, all these runners who work really hard are, like, you probably know the Running Effects podcast. Like, I watch all their videos. Like, I watched Josh Kerr while I was on the ARC trainer at Lifetime the other day, and just, like, hearing just, like, what other runners have to say, and, like, not doing exactly what they do, but, like, taking little bits and pieces and advice from other people and saying, okay, like, how can I improve myself to, like, what they did. So I think that just, like, taking advice from other people and, like, yeah, that just helps me.
So now we're down to the last few minutes, and I always ask the same few questions. So number one, how do you take care of your mental health outside of running?
Yeah. I have a really good support community.
Support system?
Support system. My parents, like, raised me really well in that sense, too. Like, it was always, we're going to go and compete, and we're going to try our hardest. Like, we're going to push our limits. But at the end of the day, it's okay if you don't succeed and if you don't get your goals. And, like, just in life, too, like, in school, like, okay, you have a test. Did you prepare for it? No, if I didn't prepare for it, well, yeah, no wonder why you didn't do well. And if I did prepare for it, then it's like, okay, I did my best I could do. So just, like, having that peace of mind, whereas if I didn't accomplish my goals, knowing that either I did everything that I could to accomplish my goals, or that if I didn't, I can improve next time. And even, like, I put a lot of pressure on myself. I know that, like, at the end of the day, it's going to be what it's going to be, and I can't change that. So, yeah.
Describe your team in 3 words.
Competitive, goofy, caring, I would say.
Cool.
Yeah. I would say, can I say one thing? Going back to, like, the mental health question, it's always helpful because a lot of, like, the girls on our team are all going through, not the same thing, but we all want to succeed. So just, like, knowing that other girls are going through exactly what you're going through is a big helper. Like, for me at NXR, it was like I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to do well for the team, because I was like, if I don't do well for the team, then I don't know if we'll qualify for NXN. And I was like, I need to do really well. But then the girls were really good at just, like, so I voiced that to them because we were all, like, talking in a circle, just like the Varsity 7. It's always, like, a special moment before races. We always talk and we say what we're nervous about. And then, like, they're like, Maddie, it's okay. Like, we'll still love you no matter what. Even if we don't qualify, it's okay. But, like, you're going to do amazing. Like, you're going to go out there and run your race. And just, like, knowing that other girls are there and, like, voicing that stuff to them, it was really helpful and, like, comforting for me.
Yeah. Normally I ask this question, this is the last one, what advice do you have for young runners? But I'm going to switch it up. What would you like to say for all the people who look up to you?
Yeah. I just want to say that like running is really important to have a balance in everything that you do. So like just finding the balance of friends and sports, and it takes a while to do. Like it's not like you're gonna run into the sport and have a good balance, but I would just say like balance your training, like don't overtrain, like don't overwork yourself, like have patience with the sport. It'll come over time. Like my 8th grade year to now, I've ran 35 seconds faster. Like you're not gonna be at your spot that you were, and that was in the mile. I don't know if I mentioned that. I don't know. Like you're not gonna be right where you want to be right away, but just working hard and having a balance in life. Like it's okay if you want to like go get Culver sometimes, or like it's okay if you want to like go out with your friends one night or something. But just like also being really competitive, and if you have goals for yourself, like knowing the steps to achieve your goals, because you can't just set a goal for yourself and then expect it to happen if you don't do anything for it. Like I can't say I want to go run 4:44 in the mile and then not give it my all in my workouts, not like get sleep the 2 weeks before my race. Like I can't, like doing everything that you can to achieve your goals and then just having fun with the sport.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Maddie.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank
Good
you.
luck. Yeah, no, that was an incredible episode. What did we learn from that? Well, Maddie's presence on the team didn't stop when she was injured. Wayzata made her feel included by spending intentional time with her, and she was still intentional about being there for her team. Whether it was timing and pacing workouts, sending heartfelt messages to her team before races, or simply just showing up for them. Also, Maddie used nerves to fuel her performance, even in the face of high-pressure situations like going for the state title or going for that 4x8 state record. She knew that deep down her team loved her no matter how she performed, and because of that, she was really able to let the nerves fuel her rather than completely overwhelm her. And third, Maddie really stressed the value of trying new things, whether it was baking something new or trying a hard class. Honestly, I thought of her example when I was just beginning the podcast. I was like, oh, Maddie tried Nordic and she just got better and better the more she tried it. You know, I could do that too with this podcast. You know, I'm not going to be very good at it first, but if I practice and work really hard like Maddie did, I can get really good at this. It's a really inspiring lesson. If there's something new you've been thinking of trying, I think Maddie and I would agree that you should try it. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for listening, and I hope you can take something away from our time together. I encourage all of you to share this episode to a friend who would learn something and take something away from our conversation. I'm Nate Unger, and this was Maddie Gullickson, Unger the Radar. Now, go be a light to the world.